Well, good evening, and welcome back. And we're here once more with the Witch Elf, because stabby stabby, jumpy jumpy. That's what I'm going to call it. We'll wait. Get our seeds ready. Hope everybody's well. Hope you've all been having a nice day. Hope you're all looking forward to some cultivating shenanigans. Because I know I am. Cultivating stream. Ah, dear. Let's get buffed. Remember our kisses for a change. Oh, we find a wild little demon, so I'll have a drink with him. It's always one step ahead. Right. I hate the Bandlands. Nearly as much as I hate Old Dwarf Road. It's just one of those zones. It's like, It's like it was designed to prepare people for the horror that was going to be Black Crag. Just don't like it. Don't like the aesthetic of it. Don't like the layout of it. Nothing. What's this? A wild chosen. Oh. Quite rude. I think the majority of my damage here has come from them. What do you call it? Using morale abilities on me. Although, that's got us to our first pip of tier 3. What do we got from here? Nothing exciting. How rude. Good to know that there's some in there, though. Is that a bright wizard? Guessing this was a field keep siege, and that's why they went to Avalorn. And then they failed there too. guy's quite tough. I have freed you, my friend. Just do him a bit. Orders come back for some reason. Maybe he's like, there's witch elves in the keep. Save us. I'd have been tempted to have a go at that white lion had the rune priest not been there. Oh, there's Tosh.
Hail Cain!
Hail Kate. She always sounds so happy doing it. Gotta sign up for some scenarios. Let's play a game of peekaboo. Engineer. Freedom. How rude. He just wants the easy renown. That's what he's after. What did I get for that engineer, actually? 1300's not bad. Very nice. What do we need? About 38,000, that? Hey, Tosh. Nice things, bud. I think you missed all the fun. It looks like Destro tried to siege one place, failed, went somewhere else, failed again. And now are apparently still here, but I'll be damned if I can find any of them. I've been in game all day. See, you should have been using this as an opportunity to level your Magus. Think of the fun you could have been having. What's that? Witch Hunter. Could have been halfway to Sovereign on a Magus by now. I have been trapped by the dastardly pitfalls that are the environment. This is the other reason I hate dwarf and green skin zones. They're terrible. On every conceivable level. Hold on, I'll come and kill you. You've already killed me. You only get one. Zerging with all your NPC mates. Nice seeing you. Hey, Rav. Yes, but I watched you kill the NG. Were you impressed? Were you proud that I was purging the AFK nation? My first thought when I seen him standing there was like, Tosh would hate this guy. And then there you were. You're like, nah. I say get rid of them all. $5K. Nice. That's what I call the not paying attention nation. Attack in my direction. Which way is that? This way? That way. Over here? Never get old, that joke. Never get old. What's this? Utka, the engineer. Oh, crikey. Speaking of not paying attention. Come on, before his friends get back. Ah! Got him! Freedom! Some witch elf action tonight. Yeah. I'm actually killing people for a change, so, you know. I'm relying on you guys to clip it. Zell has done a thing. It so rarely happens. See how OP witch elves are? Or is it secretly just how good I am? I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Could be because you were playing a class with DPS and not a sword and board tank with 69,000 health. I'll have you know my blackguard usually only had 9,000 health. He had about 69,000 toughness, but he only had about 9,000 health. Who's this? Well, 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 it's Leonardo DiCaprio. Alright, this is going to be the tough one. Let's do that. Whee! Saved by the healer. Oh, and I'm getting a scenario pop. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Killing a solo healer, I can't. Killing Witch Hunter, I can't. Almost escape in 3v1, I can't. Look at him go, still making a tent in order tonight that he serves. I can always rely on you guys to keep me grounded. I'm putting it down to my new dagger. Has to be all down with the dagger. Alright, I'm gonna go out the back. What's this? Shadow Warrior, Ironbreaker. I think Destro stopped them taking that. Order seems to be in here. This takes forever to cap. Maybe hopping will make it go faster. It's like pumping up a bike tire. Nearly there. What's this? Warrior Priest. Now let's play the game of I didn't see him. Didn't work. He went back inside. Armbreaker, Engineer. There's the squishy. Don't run away, Archmage. I pump myself away to get further away, and then he does it for me. What a lovely fellow. Let's see if any of them have decided to go out back. Probably orders only healer and runs all the way back to the start. What have we got here? Armbreaker and another armbreaker. Is that out of range? Okay. I wasn't going anywhere. How did I? 2-0. I'll take 2-0. The most dangerous scoreline in football, 2-0. Or is it 1-0? Can never remember. It's one of the two. Oh, they're attacking our keep now. I think there's a Skaven tunnel up here. Might be able to max out my influence. It was practically at 0 when I started. What a mind-bending 20 minutes it's been. Oh! I can't read. Savalorn and Safari that's under attack. I'm here all week, guys. Oh, God. Whenever people talk about pro players and stuff like that, if you look up the opposite of that in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of me. True story. Oh, who's this? A band of merry men. Merry Zergers, we'll call them. So Destro's inside. Orders camped outside, blocking Destro from getting inside. Sure. Like, at that stage, why not just charge at the walls? Like, the worst case scenario is you die, and they res you in. Maybe I'm just looking at it too simplistically. Didn't want to tell you. Bloody order. Trying to send me to the wrong place. I heard Irish humor is what's going to end mankind. I mean, what a great punchline, though. How did it all end? Well, let me tell you. An Irishman walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why did it end mankind?" And he just looks at him. He goes, "Yep. Best I could do off the cuff. I'm sorry. You die, that's the issue." Yeah. But you've got the opportunity of getting rezzed. Doesn't everybody want to be rezzed? It's like using a teleporter in Star Trek. You die, and then you reappear somewhere else. That's Irishman walks into a bar, nothing else. The problem is it's not a pub. It's just an iron bar that's stuck in the street. Boing. Best joke ever, an Irishman walks out of a bar. Yeah, like once they get in there, the chances of them being able to walk onto their own bar is slim to none. It takes a while though. If you ever see an Irishman walk into a bar and then come back out of it under his own steam, it's because his wife's figured out that he's there and has called him and is very angry. Let's see if we can do some good old-fashioned leeching. Hello, chaps. As a single target stealth DPS, I am here to help in these AoE siege defense efforts. Not just take up space in your warband so that I can get little purple numbers. Well, they're actually guarding the postern tonight. See? I contribute. But at least we have fun now. Need that after 5 hours in Avalorn. Yeah. The chances of Order actually successfully taking this keep and locking the zone. They'll probably fail their push, get murdered at the door, and then all go back to their keep and log out and wait for us to attack it so that they can get a bag. Just saying. Ooh! I'm up to 440 war crests. I wonder, am I close to my RVR week? Ooh, I am. Funky chickens, as the cool people would say. Guys, I don't mean to alarm you, but there appears to be collision, so I think there could be some order nearby. Just saying. Keep your eyes peeled for those order. They could be anywhere. Could be outside. Could be over here. I was going to say, I love how there's a chamois lying dead in the Lord's room, and nobody's rezzing him. We've got 40% AAO. I find that really difficult to believe, because surely at this stage all of the cross-realmers would have been swapping over, because they're so interested in balance. They're 100% definitely not interested in only swapping over when it's a fort, so that they can farm pugs in a reduced player environment from a defensive position. They would definitely swap over for balance. Or that's what I've heard. /sarcasm. It's a chamois life any minute now. The cavalry will come, I hear the trumpet. That's just order outside in their pimpmobiles after getting so many bags from sitting in keeps all day. Doo-dee-doo-doo. It's the best I could do for a pimpmobile horn. I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna swap to my initiative one, because if I can manage to hit someone with it, all of these AoE DPS will at least start getting crits on people a bit easier. I'll be dead on the floor, mind you, but it's the little things. We had another warband leave a city, but as far as I know, no one got banned. Probably because the people that they left against weren't popular enough. Or no, it's the other way around, isn't it? Maybe it's the people who left are too popular. Was Oath who left? I have no idea who that is. Versus Gravel. Why did they leave versus a 6-man? That makes no sense. I could have swore I heard a witch hunter shooting there. Maybe it was an engineer. Ads hold the ramp. Okay. I wasn't going to ramp, but okay. Oath is Arwen's guild. Not sure who is in it though. Funny, I was talking about Arwen, was it last night? It's like, there was a Archmage in Tier 1 whenever I was leveling a couple of my characters, who was basically the holy fire of Tier 1, called Arwen, and I never seen them again after Tier 1. So I assume that he was just playing an alt to try and kill people in Tier 1. Welcome back! Hopefully you enjoyed the adverts. Did you get any good ads? Almost too good. Better than the actual stream. That's what I like to hear. Well done, Twitch. For the longest time, anytime I was watching one of your streams, I always used to get Judge Judy, whatever her new name is. And it got to the point where I was catching myself at different points just reciting the lines from it. And it was just... like, literally every ad break. It was just that. And then it would finish, and it would go to the next ad, and it would just be that ad again. And then recently, it's been Amazon Prime's, or not Amazon Prime, Audible's, is it The Great Storyteller or something like that? I was like, the greatest storyteller. I was like, but surely that in itself is just another story. And you're thinking, oh, thank God, it's over. And then it just loads it up again, and you're like, no, not again. I already know about Audible. Tell me about something else. Please, for the love of God. And this is the thing, I've never got to see what ads... I'm assuming it's the same ads I would see if I could watch ads for myself. But I can't. So... I just like little things like that. It's the same in this. I'd love to see when someone kills you, what reward did they get for killing you? I'd love it if Twitch would tell me what ads they were showing people. Ah, thank you very much for the subscription, sir. Very kind. I should have used my morale one. I think Postern did its job quite well there. Front door failed horribly. All those damn single target witch elves. Yeah. They're starting to take control. To be honest, I'm close enough. I'm just gonna res and run back. Could lie there all day. If at first you don't succeed, excessive force is probably the answer. I tell you what, everybody must be reading that tip, and that's why they all blob up. Has to be. Why are these guys all sitting outside? Oh, there's Tush. Such a Zerger. We all seen you, Tush. Zergan. Zergan the keep. Ooh, this is quite a tough Engie. No, I'm disabled. I'm dead. Just stab, stab, stab.
I bid you welcome.
I bid you welcome. Frank, if that is your name. Granthus. Didn't even get the first letter right. Oh, it looks like you're going to get your wish, Rav. They're going to take Avalorn. I have to be Frank, but Frank isn't my name. It's one of my favorite scenes in Wayne's World. Oh no, it's Wayne's World 2. Garth, can I be frank with you? Can I still be Garth? Take me, Garth. Where? I'm low on fuel and you need a jacket. Gets me every time. You should get the soundbite, Tosh, for your stream where they're playing hockey and when the car's coming they just yell car, and then when they're starting back up again
Hello there.
it's game on. Hey Malmar, nice things, bud. So that you could start a stream in the morning and if nothing's happening you just like play the sound effect car, and then it goes on an ad break and you just go to away, and then when something starts happening you come off the ad break and you come back in the game and you just play the sound effect. Game on! Hours of fun could be had. That's given me a wonderful... I'm going to see if I can find that sound effect. What a wonderful way to do a break. Car. And a game on. God, the inside of my head is a scary place, let me tell you. I'm going to play a hunch. I have a hunch that there's going to be a bunch of orderlings AFKing in their own keep. Was I right? No, there's not. Dear Lord, they're all active. What a sick world we live in, where people don't go AFK in keeps for me to gank. His reflexes aren't very good. He's like half health, and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably do something. There's another witch elf with the same idea as me. I just see her stealthing around in the background. What a low opinion people have of the other side. That during the keep siege we're skulking around their keep looking for AFK people. Oh, it's so good. I love it. I thought I was the only one cynical enough to do it, but no. Somebody else was too. We've got order capping this, it would seem. Now, you see, orderlings would tell me that this is just one person, and it's not a Zerg at all. Oh, he's making a dash for the keep. Gusward is going to AFK in the keep, everybody. No, he's not exchanged his mind. More full him. He shouldn't have stopped either, because now he's going to die. Oh, that's why he turned around, because there was a whole bunch of Destro coming this way. He was going to AFK in the keep, and then he thought, no, those destruction people might hurt. Crossralmer, who forgot which keep to take. Yoink. I was getting some run out of that. Oh, RV stone. Hello, Mr. Slayer. There is no way you were allowed to mount up with me hitting you. Brr, Rolgrom. Never seen it coming. See if Order takes Blackfire Pass, keep after. Maybe. I mean, it would make sense for them to give it a go. My general rule of thumb with it is once one zone falls, they move to the other open zone at the time because it's available. And it usually rings true. I think the only time recently I've seen it go another way was on... I want to say it was Sunday or Saturday, one of the two, where I think it was Destro took like 4 zones back to back, and one of them they just stayed in the same pairing. Was it Calidor Dragonwake to E10? Something like that. Can't blame them. The other open zone at the time was Black Crag. No one wants to go and fight in Black Crag. Oh, there's the baby witch hunter again. I ever get the feeling that there's order behind this? There's not, but I did get that feeling. There was order behind it. My hunch was right. Zell, were you on order side this morning leveling a fancy hat? I was not. Whoo! Hello. 6 of them. Uh-huh. You go looking for 1 cockroach and you find 6. But no, this is the first I've been in game all day. I was at work this morning. More's the pity. And also, I was away getting my car serviced. So, even playing Order would have been more enjoyable than both of those things together. Just saying. It was probably Tosh. He's got more characters called Zell than I do. And he's the sort of person who would play Order. Because he's a Zerger. Some witch hunter stole your name. Yep, probably Tosh playing a witch hunter. You've been caught out, Tosh. Leveling a witch hunter. Calling it Zell. Shocking stuff. Maybe I don't want to attack him. I won't say. I'll attack this guy, though. Come on. Damn it. Oh, it did it! Ah! Died anyway. So very nearly. If I had got away with that, I'd have been counted that as the greatest escape. Steve McQueen would have been second. Sell might log in against Soonish. I knew it was you. See, as soon as he said there's someone with your name, I was like, it has to be Tosh. How many characters is that you've got now that are named after me? Is it 3 or is it 4? 4. I didn't know whether to contact the authorities for a stalker. or whether to be sort of blush and go, oh, shucks. Even doing a city dungeon. Dear Lord. His love for you is strong. I'm here for you at this difficult time, Ralph. I know his love for you is the only thing that keeps you going. Just be strong and know that we all love you and are here for you at this difficult time. I don't think these teams are hugely fair. I want another healer. I did that too early. Got him. Freedom. I love how this layer is just thrashing away, not actually aiming at anything. Okay, stop the Slayer. That's working out quite well for me. Disarm you. Alright, rude. Oh yeah, just disarmed you. Don't do that again. Take him down, take him down. Got him. No healing for you. Death. Double slow. Still faster than most things with have wheels. Right, time to get some points. Probably should have went stealth, but why use my own mechanic? Good thing about this is I should be starving this Slayer of AP. I don't know if they've any way to get it back, but who knows? So one thing my Choppa suffers with, and I realise he's quite low level in comparison to all these guys, but he really struggles with AP. Rune Priest can give him a lot of AP. Oh, okay. Don't think there's a Rune Priest in here, though. To be fair, I probably should have done the stagger on the Warrior Priest rather than the knockdown. Got him. Okay. Not too shabby. Does Witch Elf not have the same build-up mechanic as the Witch Hunter? Never mind, I see it now. Yes, exactly the same. Like, the two classes are really, really close in what they do. It's just the Witch Hunter has slightly better abilities, and they're slightly better organized in terms of their trees. I think I was saying it the other night, like, if the Witch Hunter wasn't in game, everybody would be saying that the Witch Hunter, the Witch Elf is probably the most OP solo class. And it's because the Witch Hunter's there, it's not. Well, I suppose the Archmage and the Shami are probably the most overpowered solo class because they can heal. But it feels like the Witch Elf and the Witch Hunter are pretty close second. Like, the Witch Hunter especially is just ridiculous in the things that it has available to it. Because I didn't realize it had an attack that lowered the target's chance to parry. And it's like, why do they need that and then a full-on parry shield? Like, realistically, it should be one or the other, not both. Like, if Witch Hunter has endless parry, give the Witch Elf the chance to break it, or vice versa. Like, surely that makes sense from, like, a mirroring perspective. I'd probably say Witch Hunter has edge only because no one on Destro can get past the parry of the Witch Hunter. Witch Elf can have someone bypass it. Well, technically a Chosen can get through a Witch Hunter's parry with, oh god, I always forget its name. Cleave? Is it? Oh, there goes the zone lock. Okay, Chosen, not that I would call them the same, however, but yes, you're right. To be honest, it's the only thing in Destro that I can think of that has something that goes through parry. I know the Magus has a tactic that allows Rend Winds or Flickering Red Fire to go through Disrupt. The Blackguard doesn't have anything that goes through. I don't know about a Black Orc. I don't think the Choppa does. The Witch Elf doesn't. The Marauder doesn't. And I think that's literally every melee class. So unless the Black Orc has something, I think the Chosen's the only one. I never learned shit from boxes. Isn't that the truth? Magus is 2 skills that go through with attack. Yeah, Rend Winds and Flickering Red Fire. But that's going through Disrupt rather than parry. It's funny, I was thinking about that the other night, because I was thinking you could potentially do a changing Demonology Magus that's set up for super defensive, give it that tactic in place of one of its others. And you could potentially do a lot of damage up close and personal to a Witch Hunter if he popped the instant disrupt tactic. But it's so niche. It's like, it's the typical Magus thing. The Magus has got a lot of skills, and you look at them and you go, that's quite interesting for this one really specific thing. And then you try and actually parse it out in your head, and that one really specific thing never ever comes up. It's you can tell it was a class that they needed to work on, and they just ran out of time, and that's why it got that flimsy, what was it called, light touch patch, like 8 to 10 months before the server died. Tested it versus a Witch Hunter once, but still a wasted tactic in my opinion. Well, you see, that's the thing. It's like, it makes a lot of sense if you're fighting a Witch Hunter that has full disrupt. But the problem with it is, it makes absolutely no sense in nearly every other scenario. Because you're very rarely coming across someone who has a high enough disrupt chance outside of maybe a tank with a shield for it to be even worthwhile. And even then, it's Rend Winds and Flickering Red Fire. Like, I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've used Flickering Red Fire. Because it just doesn't scale with intelligence well. Rend Winds, on the other hand, like, there was a great thing. I ran Tomb of the Vulture Lord with our guild, and on the boss that dropped the headpiece, I think it was boss number 5, I want to say. if you used Rend Winds and spammed it, it hit for far more than it was supposed to. So it was only supposed to do 3 hits, but it did like 8 or 9. And because you could cast it so quickly, you did tons of damage. And it was one of the few ways that you could actually beat the boss, was to do it. And it was something to do with like all the scarab swarms that he used to spawn out. It seemed to like bug everything out. Am I using the right kiss? I am. I'm using the AP one. Yeah, we did it. Go, team. I should have stayed for that 5 seconds to get that thing. I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's like the Magus... In my opinion, the Magus needs a tactic overhaul. And it needs a skill overhaul. It's got too many really specific things. And it and the Engineered need to have their mechanic looked up. Because they either have to become something that you don't want to go near if it's locked in position, or you change them so that they've got some way where they can move. And it's the funny thing about it, it's because, like, realistically, it should be a case of, especially in a game like this, where everybody is wanting to defend a keep or a fort. And I use that term wanting very loosely. Like, the Magus and the Engineer should be, like, the first name on everybody's team sheet for defending it. And they're probably not even in the top 10. If we're being honest. This guy is really tanky. How much damage does Rend Wind do with that tactic? So it doesn't change its tactic, it just makes it undefendable. So, Rend Wind, if you're spec'd high enough in changing and your intelligence is decent enough and your crit's decent enough, Rend Wind could probably do about 700-ish damage per tick of it, which is quite a lot for something that's such a low cast time. But again, to get to that point, you're sacrificing a lot of other stuff just for Rend Winds. So Yahoo! I think Magus has played less, though, because Destro's far more melee DPS tank focused, not ranged DPS like Order. I think Magus has just played less because it's a harder class to play, and you don't get much out of it. Unless you're very high level, and you're playing it well. And then the same is true for any class. If I see a Magus floating around in my Witch Hunter, I think the exact same thing when I see an Engineer floating around when I'm on my Witch Elf, which is, oh, a supply crate that shoots back. Now, there's exceptions to those rules. If I come across Daywar, he is anything but a supply crate that shoots back, because he's spec'd right and he's high level, and he knows how to play. But that's the thing, you're never going to come across, like, a renown rank 50 Magus, who you're going, well, I don't think I'd fancy attacking him. Whereas, something like a White Lion, a Witch Hunter, a Chamois, an Archmage, heck, even a Chosen, something like that, you will find it that you can get a chin out of them at that lower level. Sunk. Where are these guys getting their healing from? Ha 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 ha. Like, why slash LOL if you're just going to immediately die? Sorry, I meant to ask versus tanks. Since it bypasses block disrupt, would it be useful for removing tanks? Technically, yes. Again, the issue with it is most tanks you're going to fight are going to be two-handers, so they're not going to have any block chance, and their disrupt is probably going to be quite low. Against defensive ones, yeah, it would be really useful, but at the same time, they're not really going to trouble you because you can basically kite them around and do whatever you want with them. How rude. This guy is really, really tanky. But you don't get very much renown for killing him, so I think he's quite low level. Let's swap over to this. just seeing his initiative seems to be doing more than reducing his AP was. I don't spec into changing at all when I'm defensive spec. Yeah. Like, changing is a better... It's a better skill tree for lower levels, but... I was doing some... what do you call it? I keep wanting to call it head cannon, but it's not head cannon. Theorycraft. I was theorycrafting the other night that if you went with that tactic and a defensive spec magus, you could literally have all of the key ingredients to deal with a witch hunter by just sitting in spot with a blue horror and spamming rend winds. Technically, at least. Whether it would work in practice or not is a different matter. Speaking of Magus, look at this fine fella. Very nice, Mr. Rav. Very nice. Good-looking gentleman with his warlord and sovereign. Apocalypse. I'm guessing that's the one from Balrog Burrow. On being hit, 10% chance to steal 150 health from your attacker. On hit, 5% chance to persecute for 300. Not bad. Warlord, Sentinel, Genesis. Very nice, sir. Very nice. You can just walk away from him. He saves the White Lion. No one saves him. That's always what I say. Never help anybody in this game because they'll just leave you to die. Changing is also a warband tree. Is it? Well, I suppose with Mist and Firestorm it would be. You look better than Tosh, both naked, but there's a difference. I jiggle in all the right ways, is what you're trying to say with that statement, Ralph. Best Sulu staff from Balrog Burrow. I see. Whenever I was playing around with my demonology spec, I think it was around about Christmas time. I went and got Demon Soul, I think it was, from one of the epic weapon quests to have the wounds proc. It was a good middle ground. Okay, no grip for sure. Still back to Slayer. Yeah, see, I can't remember who I was saying this to the other night. Maybe it was Malmar. The problem I have with dungeons is I will do a dungeon if I need something from a dungeon. But I could log in at 7 and be logging off at 9 and been spamming the whole way through looking for dungeon group for Balrog Burrow. And I'd never get one. Or if I did, I'd get one and I wouldn't have enough time to complete it. Now, if I could go up here, like I can in Warcraft or SWTOR or something like that, and sort of click join a group for Balrog Burrow, and then it'll match you with a bunch of other people who want it. Fantastic. That would be amazing. But... other than that, the likelihood of me ever getting to go is just slim to none. I jiggle all the ways. The new take on the beloved Christmas film coming this year. I jiggle all the way. Zell, until I realised that wounds proc don't stack with Aegis wounds. Ah, but that's the great thing with it. The proc from Demon Soul will usually proc when a Witch Hunter jumps you, so it takes off the initial hit of their attack. And then once it expires, because it's on a shorter rotation, you pop Aegis and you get all your health back. Oh, good. I'm up against all the great kiting classes in one go. Ah, that was a waste of potion. I was offering to pay 50 gold to run me through. No takers. Ugh, rough, dude. The ginger jiggler. My boobs are bigger also, so I win. It's not the size that matters, it's how you use them. I have a a bile rot burrow staff with that proc as well. Ah, nice. Right. The thing with this character is I'd quite like to go to Bastion Stair. Number one to get the dagger, but the second one to get the gear, so I can get the Invader Ward and just go straight for Sovereign. Because as I was saying last night, like, the Oppressor gear is near enough the same stats that Victorious is going to be, and it would save me probably 2,000 odd or more crests. I'll save you, Doc. Run towards me. Damn it. He could be anywhere now. Here, Witch Hunter, Witch Hunter, Witch Hunter. What's the thing you say to get cats to appear? Pss, 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 pss. Something like that. Maybe I'll go for this Marauder. Nope. I was going to say maybe I'll go for one of these ones, but not as a warband. Watch yourself, Rav. There's a witch hunter roaming around these hills. Do-do. Both staff versions are good for solo. I just prefer the HP still. Yeah, the HP still is pretty good. It's always good to have the option to switch between them as well. That was all down to me, that bright wizard. Forgot all about my tea. Thank goodness it's still warm. What is this? It's a stream. Or at least I think it is. I might be wrong. I don't deny. Neither do I. I find a way to do bolts of change that deal 3,440 crits. Sounds about right. Ooh, Morgan Temple. Don't mind if I do. Apocalypse, as you saw, gives me 76 toughness, idiot wounds, 76 int as well. So, yeah, those are good stats, dude. I always used to love stacking as much wounds and intelligence as I could for warband play. Never bought the Fort Staff in Magus yet. I have around 5,000 crests, but it's offensive, so... I mean... I think I have about 4 different staves in my Magus. Now, none of them are particularly amazing. I think one's the Blue Renown one at 40. One's Demon Soul. One, I think, is Bloodfist Demon Staff. I think that's the one. I think it's the Orc tier 4 influence one. I can't remember what the other one is I have. It might be the Genesis Crest one. But I like having different staves with different sets of staffs, stats on it, just so that I can easily change around specs and try different things out. And it's only really the Magus I ever do that on. Like I don't do that in any other characters. I lost 60 gold in talismans due to their shit meal bug yesterday. Ooh, that's rough, dude. Fort staff and offensive gear, sure, if you play in Warband, but as solo, it just don't work. I mean, it can work. It's just your positioning has to be on point. And it's not going to work if you get jumped. And the problem there is that's an awful lot of ifs. Left that too late. Not with all the witch hunters running. Yeah, that's the problem. You're basically at the mercy of witch hunters. Although the way they play at the minute in their groups, even as demonology spec, you're still going to struggle. The only difference is you might at least take one of them with you. You don't have two-handed gear on your Blackguard, really, do you? I've got the Genesis Crest Glaive on the Blackguard, and the blue glaive from... I want to say it's the Dark Elf Epic Quest. It's the one with the parry increase thing on it that the Balrog Burrow glaive has. Active Defenses, is it called, I think? Something like that. Offensive gear is higher DPS, but dead player is no DPS. Yeah. This game is very defensive based as well. So it doesn't really matter if you it doesn't really matter if you go DPS, because the likelihood is who you're coming up against is going to be more more defensive spec anyway. So, oh, that's the wrong thing. That's one thing I'd love to see them change about this game, is cut out an awful lot of the defensive stuff, unless it's a defensive tank, and increase the offensive side of things and make the time to kill shorter. I think it would instantly make it a better game. This game is so weird at the moment. Healers run DPS, DPS run tanky, and ranged run melee. Yeah. It's just all screwed around. And like, it's one of those things, like, in my mind, a DPS healer should never be as good as a standalone DPS. Never, ever in a million years. a DPS tank shouldn't be as good as a melee DPS. But they are. And in a lot of cases, they do a better job of it. And that's my overall problem with it. It's like the classes should excel at their own archetype, and then they should have the ability to do stuff outside of it, but not as well as the classes in that archetype. So yeah, you should be able to have a DPS healer, but a DPS healer shouldn't be able to do a better job than a DPS. Remove detaunt, guard, and challenge. Boom, fixed. You see, I'd go the other way. I'd say change it so that challenge actually reduces a healer's outgoing healing. Because at the minute, if a tank does challenge, a DPS loses its ability to damage other targets as well until they hit the tank. If a tank does a challenge on a healer, I think it should be a case of the healer's outgoing heal is debuffed until they damage the tank. Because then either way, you're giving the tank class utility over healers that it should have. And you're making challenge a much more useful ability in RVR. Guards I'm quite happy with. Like, guard makes sense. Detaunts, again, makes sense. The problem with it is, guards and detaunt at the minute are stacked on top of, like, parry shields and disrupt shields and absorb shields and 5 billion toughness and 800 HP regen every 4 seconds and everything else under the sun. It's too much. The base game didn't have the majority of that in play. And that's why detaunts and guards were so important. It's like the devs want to give options and made the options OP. I think that's probably how it all got started, is they wanted to give the classes unique flavor within themselves, and it kind of just screwed the balance. I wouldn't mind cutting all the regen, self-healing, and other stuff, but then also cut the DPS from healers too. I just cut healing across the board. I'd remove HP regen from everything but a tank. I'd remove AP regen, or at least reduce its influence. And I'd probably as well look at removing an awful lot of the defensive spec gear for DPS classes. Because they're DPS. They should be DPSing. Like, there's 3 trees. So the 3 trees for a DPS class should be a single target tree, an AoE tree, and a debuff tree. And that's what they should focus on. Not a I can't ever die tree and a I win button tree. Like, it just makes no sense. When you get to tanks, you should have a DPS tree, a tank tree, and then a utility tree. And then when you get to a healer, a heal tree, a DPS tree, and a utility tree. Hey, we finished our tier 3 influence. Um, they can't code that. You're forgetting crippling strikes from live stacking. Again, this is all wishful thinking. None of this stuff that I'm theory crafting is ever going to come into being. I'm also in favor of not doing many changes to the game. In my opinion, they've done too many changes in Roar already. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I think I said this a couple of months ago. If the ability rework, or the ability update doodah thing, whatever you call it, that they're doing, is to succeed, it should be a case of they reset it to live and they make no other changes. And then they spend a month or whatever it takes going through each ability, each class, and making sure everything scales appropriately with strength, intelligence, whatever it happens to be, making sure all of those things work. Because, like, unless there was a drastic change by Mythic after I finished playing before the game shut down, there are so many abilities that just don't scale correctly. Like Flickering Red Fire for the Magus does not scale as a 2-second cast time in the same way that a 2-second cast would scale for, say, a Sork. Same thing with dots. I'm fairly sure it's the same thing with the channeled attacks that each of the tanks have. They all scale differently. There's so many underlying things like that that need prioritized and fixed first before you can even then start looking at class balance. Let's face it, the base game is the most fun until Conquer. After that, gear replaces skill to a point. To a point. Usually what happens is it's the insane power creep that you get with set bonuses and general stats of the gear combined with then access to extra mastery and renown abilities tends to be the thing that imbalances it, in my opinion, at least anyway. But like for a fresh 40 who's maybe only in Annihilator gear coming up against a Sovereign Renown rank 80 person, it's just not a fun experience. Like, unless the person in Sovereign is, to use a local colloquialism, a window licker, like, they're not winning. They remove 25% damage from Chosens and give it to Sword Masters at 20% that stacks with challenge for minus 45% damage coverage. Yeah. See, this is the thing. I don't know what most of the changes are that they've made over the years to the different classes, but like, there's just so many weird choices. And like, I nearly suggest that their best bet is just to reset everything. I don't think they're going to reset everything. I think the reason part of this is taking so long is A, they probably have to account for all of the PvE actions that are in game. I think as well an awful lot of the like quest items and things like that count as abilities as well. But I think part of their problem is all of the stuff that they've changed has either been undone or doesn't work with what they've done to the ability system, and they're trying to rejig it all back to where it is. Which in my mind would be a mistake. But again, I'm only playing this game now for what, 10 months. So I'm not exactly wedded to it like somebody who's maybe been playing it for 4 or 5 years. Nerf healers and they become free food and waste of space in a warband. it's not so much nerfing healers, it's just nerfing healing. Like, in my mind, healing should be a case of this is going to keep us alive for the opening of an engagement. It's not just going to keep us going forever. And I feel like that's half the problem that exists at the minute, is that if you get two sides with a whole bunch of healers, the fight's never ever going to end. Difference between nerf and nerf to the ground, though. Yeah. Because, like, at the minute, I would actually suggest that healers are too strong. Like, a healer shouldn't be able to just stand there and chuckle to himself while, a DPS wheels on him. There should be some form of threat. On. Ah! Nearly. Healers can't be immune to change either. Exactly. Like, it has to be... It has to be all taken into account. Like, you just can't have a scenario where it's just everybody dies as soon as, the fighting starts. But it can't be the state that it's in at the minute, where you can have two sides just standing right opposite each other, going full tilt, and nobody dies unless there's overwhelming numbers. Especially when the population fluctuates as much as it does, or is as low as it is. Like, there has to be a chance for a warband of people to slam into the back of two warbands and do a decent chunk of damage. Whereas at the minute, all that would happen is the warband would slam into the back of the two warbands. Maybe one person would die, and then that warband would get completely trounced. And everybody would be standing there going, huh? What? Who? Was it the wind? He got morale 1 fast, really fast, unless he was in combat from before. I think it was because the guards were hitting him as well. But I've fought him before, and I've seen him. There was like somebody was fighting him on stream the other night, and his opening salvo is very, very strong. He doesn't seem to have longevity in a fight. Like, his damage went off a cliff there towards the end whenever I was fighting him. But his opening gambit does a huge amount of damage. The problem is whenever he gets to a position where his pet can just keep going at you and he can get at least a little bit of respite, you tend to struggle. But that's the same for every white lion. Who? I think his name's Neacris. Yeah, Neacris. Or Niacris. I don't know how you say it. I've only really noticed him like the last week, so I'm guessing he's a relatively newish white lion. And this is the other problem. He's got a lot of potions. Like, he's almost back at full, and that's like my full rotation on him. He's very good at keeping his back away from you as well. Nearly. Oh, he's not that good. Oh, I think he's that good. Most other white lions are just pussies who run away. Pun intended. He's using 3 pots to kill you. Let him though. Like, that's like saying, oh, he's using an axe to kill you. He should be a man and do it with a dagger. Pots exist in the game to be used. You're supposed to use them.
Ooh, you're bigger than eyes.
He was complaining about Shami's 2k dot ticks. I mean, I complain about a dot tick that's going for 2k from a Shami. Not while I have a winds debuff. Naughty. Yeah, he pots a lot, but also we don't know his gear, and White Lion is better versus some classes. Yeah, true. He's low RR, like 66. Well, I'm 67, so therefore it's an even fight. I didn't see the Magus. I think he's just gone into the same scenario. Zell, you're looking for sewers again. God damn it, Tosh. Is this why you call your character Zell? So that you can look for PvE content? I'm onto your game. Well, I wish I had 2k.tix. I'd be taking on entire warbands. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Yep, he's in here. It's all of our tanks. Multi-boxer. Oh, if only I had the skill and ability to be a multi-boxer. I feel just well enough, thank you, with one box. What have they got? They've got a Rim Priest. Oh, here he comes. Freedom. Now, if I was overpowered like a witch hunter, I could have already been out of stealth. Nice shield warrior priest. That guy's probably needs some fixing. They're invincible in scenarios. I just don't like the fact that warrior priests and disciples of Cain have shields. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. And I've said it many, many times, but I find it the stupidest thing in the world. And it looks ridiculous. Well, the disciple of Cain, at least. Whoosh. Moided. Uh-oh. Mauled. Oh my god, I got a Seer grip. Grats, dude. PvE does you good, Tosh. Hey, just think of it. You'll be that one step closer to getting your dungeon influence done. Turn around, Archmage. Never let him see your back. Yes. I don't know. I find it really weird because there's every now and again I'll jump a Rune Priest, and like if a Rune Priest detaunts you, you're never killing a Rune Priest. But there's some Rune Priests just don't detaunt at all. And it's the same with Archmages. Like some Archmages will just turn their back to you and leave their back to you, and you're like, thank you. That's so weird. Everybody's still in this zone, apparently. Well, I found the Zerg. Is there anybody going to be lazy and not leave as part of the group? Over 700 kills and the keep hasn't ranked up at all. Yeah. It's almost as if they're only interested in farming. I just got a thing that sounded like I got a message, but there's nothing there. Unless it was from Rav and it's gone off my screen. Which it might have done. They're just beating on each other for no renown, getting very boring. To be fair, that's the weird thing with it, and I think that comes down from the fact that fights get so strung out because they're so defensive. is they can sit as a giant blob fighting another giant blob, and it'll last for ages. Whereas if it was quick, I'd nearly expect them to be more separated and running as like war bands, if that makes sense. That might just be wishful thinking on my part, but that's the only thing I can think of. Don't rank up cubes when you're kill trading. Yeah. It's RVR 101, that one. I got 1009. Victory. I'm gonna work my way back towards our war camp and get my influence rewards. I was kind of hoping I was going to stumble across someone out here, but don't seem to be any about. No. Shame. I never remember which one of these tents the influence guy's in. Go for that one. That one. That one. Let's see what these look like. We'll turn on our fancy helmet. All the witch elf fields, or whatever they're called, hex fields, tiaras, all just look ridiculous to me. Nah. Don't really see much of a difference personally myself, but sure. Gonna go on my zealot a bit. Zealots are fun. Although, to be fair, you probably have more fun in your zealot if they were sieging the keep.
A fine deal.
Right. I think I am going to call it there. A real witch elf would wear a slayer's head for a hat. Yeah, that could work. Thank you all so much for coming along and watching tonight. We had a bit of fun, killed a few people, got ourselves our next Shrine rank. got our weekly completed and everything else, so all going in the right direction. I'm gonna have a wee look here to see if there's anybody else streaming, and holy crap, there's loads streaming tonight. I'll throw you all over to Tough Monra. He's only got 4 viewers at the minute, so oh, and as I load him up, he's got the Audible advert on. I've never seen the Audible advert before. Thank you all so much for coming along and watching. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you all have a nice day tomorrow. And I'll hopefully see you back here again. Same bat time, same bat channel. But until then, take care, all the best, and see ya. Bye.